Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so glad that you are here for another video. Today we are continuing our love story series. This is going to be our engagement story, and so we're just going to let you in on a little bit of how that whole process went. Micah will do his side of the story, and then I will share from my perspective. So yeah, we're really excited. This is going to be a fun video. And then you really want to stay tuned for next week because we had to do the engagement video first. But next week we will release our wedding video that just recently got back to us. It is so beautiful, and I couldn't have dreamed of a better video that we have to one day show our kids, and that one day they'll show their kids. And so we can't wait to share that with you. But first we wanted to let you in on the engagement story just to help my brain stay in the order of our love story series. So we're just gonna jump right into it.
Well, it all started, I knew I was gonna marry her, like, when we were talking, like, even before we were dating. Yeah. But, obviously, we dated for, what was it, 5 months?
Mm-hmm.
July, August, September, October, November. 4 months.
Oh.
November 1st is her birthday. Remember that. Cash App her some money. The Cash App will be right here, by the way. November 1st is her birthday, so I flew in, surprised her for her birthday. Actually, I came for her birthday weekend. Her birthday was on a Monday, and I surprised her by staying that extra day. And that morning, I had texted her parents and was like, hey, could y'all wake up a little early before everybody else and let's talk? And obviously they knew what I needed to talk about. And her dad was like, how early? Because I'm trying to sleep in. We didn't really come up with a time. I think we might have said like 7 or 6:30. But the next morning, I set my alarm for 6:30, and I hear a knock on the door before my alarm had even gone off. And it was her dad. He's like, Micah. And I was like, yes, sir. Like, I rolled up out of bed. I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, hey, man, get up. We've been waiting out here since 5:30. And it was like 6:10. So I jump up, throw on some clothes, run out there. And I talked to them. Obviously, I was like, I want to marry your daughter. I want your blessing on it. And her dad asked me if I had any debt. I said no. And he's like, all right, you can marry my daughter. Just kidding. It was a lot more deep than that, obviously. And it was awesome. The next day,
but essentially, they said yes.
Oh, yeah, obviously they said yes. And so...
Well, you didn't say that, so...
Well, we're married, so...
We could have gotten married without their blessing.
True. I would have married you either way, like a Romeo and Juliet story. Anyways, they said yes. The next day, I flew home, and I had to work that next day, so I was at home and eating dinner. I was tired, and my mom FaceTimed me and said she had found a ring. And when we had been talking, like, obviously I slipped in conversations, and she obviously said, like, oh, I like this ring, I like that ring. And everything she liked was a plain band with an oval stone.
Diamond.
So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm looking for. My mom FaceTimes me and shows me this ring, the ring that she has on right now. But as soon as I saw the ring, I was like, yeah, that's the one. So ended up buying it. I sent my mom the money. She bought it and brought it home. And then the next day, I planned the trip for December 11th, which I was already coming up for Christmas, but I didn't want to like get engaged on Christmas and like take away. I wanted her to have her own day.
And I want
to have my own day too.
If I were to guess, I would be like, oh, it's going to be on a trip that he already has planned. And so I knew that the only way that I would be surprised, because I wanted to be surprised, but also I'm nosy and I wanted to know as well. But I knew the only way I would be surprised is if he flew to Virginia Beach without me knowing, like it was just a trip that he planned by himself to surprise me. And then the first time I saw him, he was like on one knee or about to propose. That was the only way I was going to be surprised.
Yeah. So that's kind of how
him and my mom were like scheming a date.
Yeah. So that would have been.
And my guess, like me at this time, my guess was like January, because we had always planned a trip like every month to see each other, and usually like ahead of time. And for February, I was gonna come for his birthday. And January, we didn't have anything planned at the moment. And so in my head, I was like, okay, he's either gonna come in January and surprise me, because he wasn't being adamant about setting a date either in January. So I was like, maybe he's gonna come in January. Or Valentine's Day would have been our 7-month anniversary, because we started dating on the 14th of July. So we're recording this at 9:30 at night because we have a busy weekend and gotta get it in.
We just got done with youth worshiping with the next generation of America, raising up young leaders.
We'll let this plane pass by.
Goodness.
Anyway, so I had no idea when it was gonna happen, but it was either January or Valentine's Day in my mind. I definitely knew I did not want him to propose anywhere near Christmas, like that trip, so I'm glad he did it. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so November 2nd, I bought the ring. November 3rd, I booked the trip for December 11th. And so I only had like a month to prepare this without her finding out. So obviously she wanted to be in a dress and dressed up whenever she got engaged.
I didn't really want to be like necessarily in a dress, but I did want to look nice, obviously, and I wanted my nails to be done. And so my mom knew that in order for that to happen, we had to be doing some type of something, because nobody is going to find me on a normal Saturday looking any type of anything. I'm going to be at home looking busted and disgusted with my hair in a bun. That's just how I roll on Saturdays. So she knew that she would have to like plan something. And so shortly after they plan, they get the date down, all of that, I receive a text from my mom in a group text. Actually, let me read the exact text. And it's to all of the worship directors at like each location of our church. And it says, "Hi guys, happy Wednesday. As you know, Christmas season is upon us, and I'd like to treat you to brunch for all of your hard work this year. Mark your calendars for December 11th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'd like for us to get dressed cutesy in little dresses. If you are willing, let's meet at Grain in Norfolk. It's going to be so much fun. Let me know if you're in. Love y'all." Little did I know she had already texted all these people in a separate group chat saying, "This is what is actually happening on December 11th, but play along." La da 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 da. So they're all like, "Yes, we're in a cutesy one." And then I'm like, what kind of dress are we talking? Because in my head, I'm like, I'm not about to wear a dress. And then everybody's like hyping it up in the group chat because they know it's gonna happen. So anyway, in my mind, which that's not like abnormal for us to like dress up, and for my mom to want to dress up, that's like normal for her. So I literally, and we always do something at the end of the year with like the ladies. So I was not thinking anything of it. I was just like, what kind of dress are we talking about? I wasn't questioning. Anyway, so in my head, we're just gonna go get brunch. It's gonna be fun. And so this whole time I'm just planning for the brunch.
Yeah.
And it ends up working out because I actually end up taking the brunch very seriously, and I'm like, oh, okay, if we're gonna go all out, I'm gonna be cute. You know what I mean?
You only got her nails done.
I literally like went and like ordered dresses. I ordered like 3 different dresses. If we were gonna go there, I was gonna go there.
Peyton, her younger sister, actually like was sneaking pictures of her in these dresses. It was like, which one do you like best so we can hype it up?
And they wanted you to be able to match me.
Yeah.
That was the real reason. But
Yeah,
like
she
I
wore the
literally
black
did a
dress
whole
and it was
fashion
perfect.
show and just for the brunch and was like, okay, which dress should I wear? But we just like made it a fun thing. So, and they made it seem like, let's just do it because it's fun.
Yeah. So, and your mom said 11 to 1 because my plane was supposed to land at 12:15 and it ended up like getting delayed a little bit. And I don't think we landed till like 12:35. So we had to like book it from the airport to her parents' house. I had to get dressed, and then we had to go to the place that we were getting engaged.
And we were definitely stalling. So we didn't end up going all the way to Norfolk because it was going to be too far. We just stayed at Town Center, and we like had finished eating brunch, and they're like, okay, let's walk around. I have on these heels, I'm in this dress. I'm like, I don't know who you think is about to like walk around, because it's not going to be for long, because my feet were hurting. So we ended up going to, I think, like Anthropology and just looking through everything, and then they were like, let's go to the coffee shop and sit. I'm like, these people are like for real just trying to hang out right now. Like, So anyway, and little did I know that his flight got delayed. They're rushing. That's why they're trying to stall. So obviously when I saw it in hindsight, I was like, okay, this makes sense. But in the moment, I'm just,
Yeah, rewind like a few days. So I had to have an excuse like not to talk to her for a little bit because I was gonna be flying and everything, and I wanted it to be a surprise. So I told her that I was going fishing somewhere that there would be no cell phone service all day.
Which is not abnormal. That had already happened a couple times in our relationship where he would go fishing and not text me all day because he didn't have signal. And so it was a good story. Looking back, I could have like easily caught on, but I wasn't thinking of it.
Especially because she kept texting me and they all kept going through.
Your texts?
You were texting me, like you had like 10, like one, I remember one was in capitals, I miss you.
Well, sometimes I went through and I just didn't, and I knew that you just couldn't answer. But anyway, so I could have caught on, but I didn't, and it wasn't abnormal for him to be fishing. I had the brunch, so I was gonna be busy. If it was a normal Saturday when I wasn't doing anything, that's one thing. But I really, I thought about him a couple of times, but I knew he was fishing and I had a brunch, so.
But anyways, we got there finally. Her dad was zooming to the house, got changed, got everything in the car, took off to the spot, set up we had candles all set up, and the photographer had to get set up.
So he is at the park in my neighborhood, in my parents' neighborhood, getting everything ready. We're finally on the way home, but I can still tell that there's some stalling happening. We literally have a 30-minute drive and we stopped to use the bathroom in a 30-minute drive, which I'm pretty sure I was the one who had to go, but I was like, I can literally make it to the house, and Mom was like, no, we need to stop if you have to go to the bathroom. I was like, okay. So anyway, which she was obviously being more chill than that, but in my head I'm like, I can literally wait. It's like 10 more minutes. So we stop, I use the bathroom, and when we leave the gas station, we're like only 2 minutes, 5 minutes probably from the gas station to the house. Addie, who is in the back seat, who also went to the brunch with us, my little sister, she gets a phone call from Dad, who's obviously up to no good. He's with Micah, scheming. Everybody at this point, every important person in my entire life at this point is scheming against me. Okay, so Addie's in the back seat, puts Dad on speakerphone, and Dad is like, you have got to come to the park and see this fish that Ethan caught. And I'm like, no, I don't care. Send a picture.
I think that day you were
send a picture in the family group chat, drop me off at the house before you go, whatever. Because I have on these heels, I'm in a dress, and wherever you go at this park to get to the water, you're walking a good distance. And I just don't care to see the fish. It's just, I'm not someone who needs to see the fish. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the park. And he's like adamant. He's like, no, you gotta come. It's like, at this point, it's like the whale. Like, there needs to be a whale on the end of the fishing line if I'm gonna get out of the car. That's how he's like hyping it up, That's a bit dramatic, but whatever. So we finally get to the park, and literally in my head, I was like, I might not even get out of this car because I just didn't care. So we all go get it out, and they're like, come on. And I'm like, oh. So I finally get out, and then I start taking off my heels because you have to walk. How long was that walk?
It was a couple 100 yards.
It was very far, a very far walk.
Sorry.
And I have these heels. We'll put pictures and stuff at the end, but I have on these giant heels, and I'm not a heel girl. Sneaker girl forever. I'm always gonna wear sneakers or sandals or something, not heels. So anyway, I'm walking down, and I'm getting out of the car, and I'm about to unstrap my shoes, and Mom was like, you need to leave your shoes on, don't unstrap your shoes. And I'm like, okay. So at this point I was like, okay, this is all weird, but obviously the first thing in my head wasn't, oh, Mike is here and he's about to propose. It was just starting to feel like contrived, like something was going on, but I obviously didn't know. So anyway, I start walking. Dad comes and meets us. We start walking with Dad, walking very far, and then finally Micah pops out of the tree, and it clicks, and I'm like, oh. And the whole past month of everybody lying to me starts catching up in my brain. And so there's so many things in this moment that I'm processing. One, that he's here. that he's even in the same city / state / area as me. That's the first thing I'm processing. Number 2, he's supposed to be fishing with no signal.
Yeah, the first thing she said when I walked up and hugged her, she goes, "You lied to me."
Yeah, so I'm processing that, and then also processing the fact, okay, not only did you lie to me about what you're doing today, but everybody has been lying to me. In this short walk of Micah and I to where we get to the pier to where he's about to propose, all of these things are running through my mind. And I really don't, like, it was so much for me to take in that I don't remember. I remember seeing him, I remember hugging him, and that's pretty much it. We walked to the end of the pier. All of this happened in like 10 seconds, but it could have felt like 100 minutes because it was just, I was overwhelmed. So then, gets down on one knee, obviously asks me to marry him. I somehow shake my head, nod my head,
Yeah,
yes.
if you watch the video, I actually had like a full paragraph of something that I wanted to say. None of it came out. About one sentence about me loving her and wanting to spend the rest of my life. That was it. Got down on my knee.
And I wouldn't have
said,
remembered the spiel,
"Will you?"
even if he would have.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So it all worked out. So I said, "Will you marry me?"
We stand
she
up.
couldn't even talk. She was literally laughing. She was going.
Yeah, I don't think it quite
And
sounded
then she went like
that, but somehow I said yes. I don't think I verbally said yes. I think I shook my
She
head.
went.
And then
That was
I
it.
gave him my purity ring that was on my finger. He exchanged it for the engagement ring. And then we stand up, hug, obviously have our moment. And then my friend Lacey from Texas pops out from the trees. And then all of our family starts walking.
My family walked up and everything.
His family from his parents from Florida start walking. My grandparents, literally everybody is there. And I haven't even processed the fact that he's here, let alone that I'm now an engaged woman. Now that Lacey's here, sisters, everybody was just there. And then it was just like, I don't think, like, it really didn't hit me. He left, and then like 2 days, Lacey stayed for like an extra 2 days, and like the day before she left, she has like a video of me crying. I'll insert that as well.
What? It's good. It's so happy.
I think it just
Hey, you
sucked for me
should
to-
cry. You should cry it on the shower. That's a really good place to do that. For me too.
I just like broke down like 3 days later because it took that long for me to process every stinking thing that had just happened to me. And I just remember it hit me like literally a few days later because there was just so much. So anyway, we were engaged
And we went to Longhorn and had a steak.
we went and had a dinner, which was,
I was starving.
I
You know what I
could eat
had that
one
day?
right
I
now.
had a Popeyes chicken biscuit at like 7:30 in the morning in Atlanta. And we had to get on a plane at 4 o'clock in the morning,
so
an hour away.
he pulled it off. I was surprised. My family was there. That's what I wanted. Lacey flew in. It was good to have her there. Everybody was just there and happy, and it was amazing. I'm glad his parents got to be there for it.
Me too.
We got it on video. We had pictures. It was just all good things. My nails were done. I was dressed up, and so is that pretty much it?
I believe that's it. And then the next day I flew out.
Yeah, we did an Instagram live the day after that.
Flew in
December
Saturday.
12th, and just kind of explained the story.
Flew out Sunday.
And then I surprised him with plane tickets to come back in January for engagement pictures. And then the rest is history. Wedding planning was among us, among me.
Yeah, it was kind of hard for me because there was nothing I can do, and you just want to do everything you can, but there's nothing you can do, and it's just, you know.
We would rather take care of it anyway, but
Yeah.
it's good to have the guys support. I think that's it. That was pretty much both sides.
Yeah, I think I covered it pretty well.
Thank you guys for watching this video. We love you guys. We appreciate y'all and your support, and we just love having you guys, and we love doing this. Yes, and we're excited for next week, and we're excited for you guys to see our wedding video. It was the most special day, and they captured everything so beautifully. So we can't wait for you guys to see that. So just stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss that video. We want to encourage you to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel. You can even turn on our post notifications if you'd like to. You can also follow us on Instagram if you'd like, and follow us on TikTok. We do some things over there occasionally. So yes, we would love to see you guys over there. And you can go ahead and comment down below as well, future videos that you'd like to see from us, future topics that you'd like us to talk about. We love you guys.
See you next week.